the Europeans and the allies. They've been broadly supportive of what the president is doing. They've praised him in public. They've tried to accommodate him in their policy. And they have been very muted in their criticism, even when he has attacked them economically, directly. And the reason for that is because they're absolutely terrified of, breaking with him because they don't have a plan B for, their own security without America. And that's why they took a very unfair trade agreement without real retaliation, because they believed they needed the US on Ukraine and on European security. And I believe it's why, some European officials like the NATO Secretary General Mark Rutte the other day were very praising and almost sycophantic toward the president, on Iran. And I think that's because they want to show, that they don't want to give him an excuse to break with them. And so they need America on board. They're trying to hedge, they're trying to build up their own stuff, but they don't believe that will be viable within the next 3 years.
That's fair.
Yeah, no, I think I think there's a logic to it, and they can point to some successes. They obviously took a little bit of a harder line over Greenland, in January, but for the most part, they've been trying to accommodate him. And I think you see that in the early stages of the war where, he has said, will NATO be there for us when we are there for it? And this is obviously different because the US was not attacked. It's not in the NATO area of, responsibility. But they still believe that he will actually hold them to account if they even criticize him in some ways.